Now, it's time to kick it in gear. Second quarter, Cowboys preview. Sunday night football, everybody watching. This is the first primetime game there at home.
Yeah.
For the Vikings. Pat, I know you feel some type of way because you can't go out there on the prime time. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, something that you can't control, but your guys will be out there playing against a very, very hot team, the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys, they have the number one offense in both points and yards this season. Dak Prescott has been balling. 73, completing 73% of his passes, 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Zeke Elliott, remember, he started off a bit slow. People were saying, well, he might be a bit done. He lost a step, man. Zeke has picked it up, over 500 yards on the ground, 5 touchdowns, over 100 yards receiving, 1 receiving touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, second-year player from Oklahoma. He actually leads the team in receptions and receiving yards. 33 to be exact, receptions, 497, and receiving yards and 4 touchdowns. You can't forget about vet Amari Cooper, South Florida native. He has 4 receiving touchdowns as well. You had an opportunity to play against the Cowboys last year, not with Dak Prescott, but some of these other guys were there. What did you remember about that ball game a year ago when you played against the Cowboys there in Arlington?
The offense was a little different. Obviously with the backup quarterback in Andy Dalton, I think Zeke was just coming off of injury, if I'm not mistaken, when we played them. So the running game really wasn't there. So we kind of made them one-dimensional. You can kind of tell that the life was still kind of sucked out of them at the time when we played them because, Dak went down. I want to say maybe the week before, maybe 2 weeks prior.
I think it was 2 weeks.
To us playing them. Yeah, 2 weeks to us prior to us playing them. So you can kind of tell, the after effects was still there. So we didn't obviously get the best Cowboys team, but the guys that was on the field, obviously, Amari Cooper, one of the best route runners in the game. CeeDee Lamb is starting to come into his own. And that's what, having your starting quarterback there can do. You know what I mean? It just opens up so many more windows and doors for your playmakers to be playmakers. And, we all knew, coming into the league what CeeDee Lamb was able to do. And now showcasing that talent, what he was able to do on a college level. So, now that they got the head honcho back up under the center, putting the ball where it needs to be. And like you said, Dak is playing lights out right now.
What is he doing that has been so good?
I don't think he's doing nothing different before when he went out. He was playing lights out then.
You're right.
The defense was bad.
This is just who he is.
Yes, the defense was just bad. And over his career, his numbers are there. It's not like he's doing. Obviously, he's doing great things. Counting into what he has been able to overcome with the injury of last year. But the first 4 games. Hell, Dak was on pace to break the league's record in passing yards. Let's not forget about that. You know what I mean? He was putting up crazy numbers. Yeah, the defense maybe was playing bad and, coming from behind in a lot of games. But at the same time, you still got to complete the throws. You still got to put the ball where it needs to be. I can care less what the score is. But, Dak is just picking up what he left off last year.
I agree.
You can tell he's very comfortable in the scheme. Kellen Moore has a good rapport with them. You can just tell that those guys are definitely hitting their stride.
Yeah, I mean, Dak Prescott has career highs this year in his completion percentage, touchdown and yards per games, yards per attempt so far. And talking about how impressive he's been, how do you game plan for a legit duo of pass catchers when you talk about they both could be considered number ones? Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, they both are number ones in my opinion. But how do you game plan for an offense that has basically 2 number ones?
Man, you just want to be able to tell your pass rushers, get to the quarterback as fast as possible.
Yes.
At the end of the day, you can't double guard, you can't double cover both of them. You only can stand man for so long. Then if you drop back in the zone, the good ones are good enough to find the holes in the zones, especially if the quarterback got the time to, deliver the ball where it needs to go. So for the most part, this is where, where the pass rushes can be really, really effective, making the quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket, not giving him the ability to set his feet, just making the pocket dirty as possible. And that, in my opinion, that makes our job that much easier because I know we're going to be tight on coverage. If the ball ain't where the quarterback wants it to be, it give us that much more of a better opportunity of making a play on the ball. So, Everson, D Hunt, hopefully I don't know if Michael's coming back this week.
Yeah.
But ET, those guys will have to make it dirty for him, make it dirty for him. And, that's going to allow us to play a little bit tighter to coverage and be able to make plays on the ball.
And talking about making plays on the ball against these electrifying wide receivers, you're not in the lineup, big hole, big void to fill. But Cam Dantzler, he gets his number called. What does Cam Dantzler need to do to be effective as he replaces you playing the cornerback position?
Man, Cam just got to go in there and be Cam. You can't be focusing, on, the past or what could have happened or, the opportunity that however you felt, Now it's time to go prove your worth, prove why you belong here. Show, put forth what you've been working hard on, what you've been in the basement working on, because now it's time for it to come to light. You know what I mean? Like I talked about, you never know when your opportunity is going to be called. And Lord knows it happened to be me to get hurt.
No question.
And now
you've been saying that.
Yeah, I've been saying it.
You've been saying
it's a long season. Make sure you're ready when your time comes. So now when your time comes and you're ready, therefore, now you can go out there and blossom.
No question. And that's the good thing about handling yourself as a professional. And, people won't look at you a certain type of way if you were acting unprofessionally. And then when your number is called, you're not ready. Now you're going to face an onslaught of criticism.
Oh, man.
They're going to come at you. They're going to come at you from every which way, right? But if you handle yourself as a professional, and I know it's a bit emotional for him because he wanted to play, but he didn't do anything to tarnish his image around the organization and not just go out and play football. He had a real good quote coming from Pat Peterson, Dantzler on Peterson. He said, Pat basically said, just told me to go out and do what I do best, go out there, be confident, play with swagger, just be calm and go out there and play ball. That's
exactly what I just said.
Yeah, he's straightforward. He said he's like a grandfather to me, basically, when it comes to the knowledge and the insight, you've been able to help him with. Yeah, you got to get on about that too.
He always messing around with me about that.
Yeah. But I love that, being able to be an extra coach because the great teams are self-coached.
Yeah.
The great teams are self-coached. I mean, when you have a group of guys where you don't have to be on them, they got guys that handle that. That's what you want to have to be able to go where you want to go. So hopefully he has his big boy pads on and he just play. That's the most important thing about playing cornerback. I've seen average guys play top level play with confidence.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I tell my daughter that every day, man. Every morning before I kiss and walk out of the house for work, I say have confidence. I don't care whatever goes to fail.
Allow it to manifest. And me, you talked about this before on some shows ago, long time ago. How important is it for a cornerback to get his hands on the football early?
Yeah.
Now, I was already confident.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, okay, yeah. About to be one. Don't almost catch a pick in the first drive.
How Beyonce said, I'm feeling myself.
If you almost caught a pick in that first drive, if you do go get one, oh man, it's like a batter coming up to the plate, home run his first at bat. Bow.
Confidence through the roof.
No question. And that's what you got to do. You got to find a way to get yourself going. I'm excited for Cam Dantzler. I was really high on him coming out of Mississippi State. Got coached by my good friend Terrell Buckley. Now it's his time, and it's on a national stage. Lights gonna be super bright Monday night.
Super bright.
Outside of Cam, any other keys defensively, that you believe will step up or need to have a pretty big ball game to really try to neutralize this Cowboys offense? Any other keys on defense?
I think, obviously, with me sitting out, my keys to victory is obviously you got to be able to neutralize the run game. First and foremost, as good as, Dak is of a year that he's having, throwing the ball, stopping the run and forcing teams to throw the ball, it gives you that much more opportunities of making plays on the ball. The ball's out traveling in the air, you get a strip sack, you get a pick, PBU. I think that's going to be big for us. I think third downs is going to be huge for us.
Yeah.
We got to be under 40%, under 30%, to have a successful outing, because it's like you said, it's the number one offense. So we got to get off the field. You know what I mean? And the last key, I think, for us will be, I got 4, obviously get some turnovers. You need to turn the ball over, get the ball to offense, and shorten the field and take possessions away from them, and also defend. Got to protect the paint. I think we protect the paint. Force them, settle them to kick field goals, or hell, not even get down there at all. Will be great, but not giving up 6 will be even better for us. So third downs, stopping the run, red zone, and neutralizing the run game.
You know what I call it? I call it elbow defense.
Yeah.
Elbow, it bends, but it don't break. If you play elbow defense and just don't break, especially in the red zone, you're going to be okay. Elbow defense, guys. That's it. I ain't telling you to go out there and play 85 Bears type defense. I mean, if you want to do that, I ain't going to complain, but give me elbow defense. Yeah. In between the 20s, they're going to generate yards. They're going to do that. They're that type of offense. But when you get in that red area, it's locked down.
Yes, sir.
They will question. When you make teams settle for field goals, you got them.
Yep.
Got them. That's the most important area on the football field, the red zone, on both sides of the ball, actually, both sides of the ball. Good knowledge there, but transitioning to the Cowboys. They got playmakers on the offensive side, but they got a hot time playmaker on the defensive side as well. Trevon Diggs. Woo, hoo, hoo.
Yeah, a hell of a year, boy.
Now listen here. He SEC guy. He went to Alabama. I don't know how y'all LSU guys feel about Bama guys when y'all play against them in the league. I really don't know. I don't know if it's like a little, you know what I'm saying? But you got an LSU guy on your offense as well. And Justin Jefferson. What they call him, Jettas?
Jets.
He got a nice. Matter of fact, I saw Justin and Jordan courtside at the Laker game. You saw them boys, Pat P?
Yeah, that was in LA.
Yeah, they were courtside Laker game. Boy got his shades on. He had about 7 chains on. I don't know how many. His neck had to have been hurting. Boy had so much jewelry on. But them boys were courtside ready.
Hollywood.
They were right there by Braun, Frank. Yeah, they were right there by the Laker bench. Yeah, them boys ready. You courtside. He had about 7 necklaces on. I know his neck got to be hurt. But yeah, you got Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Trevon Diggs. Man, this man got 7 picks, 2 pick sixes, 11 pass deflections. According to PFF, your favorite site, he has allowed 22 receptions for over 400 yards. But they also had him rated the top, he was in the 20s at cornerback. They didn't even have him top 10 PFF. But how do you prepare for a playmaker like Trevon Diggs? And you know about this because, teams used to prepare for you, game plan for you. Do you think that your offense will game plan, or we just going to go out and play football?
That's a good question. I haven't obviously had the opportunity to watch him play, saw a lot of the highlights of his picks. Great picks, especially the one he had against I think it's Carolina he stepped in front of that hitch. Ooh, that thing was pretty. But that was pretty. The one he had against the Patriots was nice. All those are highlight plays. Those are some nice interceptions. Mm-hmm. So I haven't obviously had the opportunity to see how he plays throughout the course of a game. Is he a gambler? Yeah. Is he a guy that strictly, fallbacks on his technique?
Yeah.
So I really don't understand. I don't know how
I can give you a breakdown on who he is. He is a wide receiver playing cornerback.
Okay.
And I don't mean that as a slight. It's just that his ball skills are like that. Anytime the ball is going in his area, he turns into the wide receiver. Yeah. He does a great job locating the ball. He does a great job in attacking the ball. And now his technique has really improved. I was high on Trevon coming out of Bama. Year, his junior year, I thought he was one of the best cornerbacks in the country. And then he broke his leg, his ankle or something like that, had a fracture, he had to sit down and he came back and he still balled out. Somehow or another, he went in the second round. I don't know what these scouts are looking at, but he was a former wide receiver. He didn't play cornerback until he went to Alabama.
Yeah.
That's another one that Nick Saban. Remember we had Marcus Spears on the show. Nick Saban told Marcus Spears, like, yo, you need to play D-line.
Yeah.
I guess when Trevon went to Bama, Saban was like, you need to get in the secondary. You remember we had Brandon Jacobs on the show last year. Remember, he said Nick Saban wanted him to play DN.
Yeah.
So the great ones have an eye. They see things we don't necessarily see at that time. But great decision by Trevon Diggs. But yeah, Pat P, his ball skills. And when you watch him play off technique, if he gets a 3-step read or a 4-step read on that quarterback, that wide receiver better run on a precise route. Because if he don't, he gone. And what happened was in the New England Patriot ball game, the last game they played, because they were on a bye week as well, he got a pick 6. Thing was on a dig route, scored. The next time they hit him with a corner and go. Out and up. He bit on that out, and you know how it is, Pat. When you catch one, now you jumping.
Yeah.
You jumping. He bit on the out, and that's how they ended up scoring that touchdown to make it a tie game. I don't know if you saw that highlight. But what I love about Trevon, man, the ball skills that he's displaying in his eyes, he turns into a wide receiver.
Yeah, that he does. He definitely has some unbelievable ball skills. I have to agree with that for sure.
His confidence is
oh yeah.
It's high. So that when 18 and 7 get up there, and one thing I like about 18, ain't no friends out there. Ain't like we dapping each other up after a play. No, bro. He like, you know how I love that about him, man. We ain't friends, bro. It's kind of you got that Louisiana accent, man.
Jet's looking to kill, and when you wake him up, I gotta get a nickname for him next.
You gotta get him fired up too. You gotta go ahead and talk to him and like, man.
You know what? I know how to get him fired up too. I got a nickname. I already gave Cookie Monster his name.
Yeah, you gave Cookie Monster his name. What about Adam Thielen? Can we get Adam Thielen a name?
Man, we gonna call him Robin Hood.
Man, you know one thing I love about Adam Thielen. I'm gonna tell you this much right here. One thing I love about Adam Thielen, and somehow or another I get Adam on one of my fantasy teams every year. He never disappoints me. Adam Thielen is like that Grand Marquis. It's durable. It's gonna get you where you need to go.
Oh yeah.
It might not be the flashiest, but when you get in it, if you in for a long road trip,
AC gonna pipe.
AC gonna pipe.
Ride smooth.
Them leather seats gonna feel good on the back.
It might not be working.
No question. That Grand Marquis boy is dependable.
Yes, sir.
That's all I want, Pat P. Give me something that's dependable in any phase of my life. Give me something that's dependable. 19, especially in the red zone.
Oh yeah, he a red zone killer now.
Boy, he rocked you up decent in that red zone.
Oh yeah.
Boy, you don't want to play around with Adam in that red zone.
Crafty. That touchdown he had in the corner, though, I was like, man, come on, man.
Yeah, what you supposed to do as a DB?
Huh?
That's one of those situations when you come to the sideline, coach be like, you got nothing to say. What you gonna tell me, coach?
I remember I had a play like that against Andre Johnson in 2013, I believe. Actually, 2 of them, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, glove coverage. The first one was they threw a fade to him. I jump up, I tip the ball. The ball is out of bounds, Mac. 3 yards out of bounds. I have no idea how this man.
Oh, that is in Arizona.
Yes,
I know.
Got my hand on the ball. Literally, the ball is 3 yards out of bounds.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. You literally thought the ball was going out of bounds because you kind of like pulled up, like man.
And I tapped it just a little bit.
Yeah.
So I deflected it, like I said, I deflected the ball just a little bit, and when I did hit it, because it was Ryan Fitzpatrick was the quarterback. He kind of threw it like on the line drive. It's kind of like a back shoulder. It wasn't like one of the floaty ones. So it coming with some speed. And I kind of saw it like just at the last minute. So I tapped it and it kind of went forward. And that sucker just stretched out like the freaking, what you call them? The girl, Elastic Man, Elastic Woman. And caught that sucker, dog. I said, no, he ain't get it in. They replayed it, caught it.
Hey, that's the thing about playing cornerback, Pat P. You never can get relaxed.
Yeah.
As soon as you take your foot off the gas, just a little bit, bam, and then you get to the side like, man, I do it, man. That's the ice, boy. When you play cornerback, you never can get relaxed, bro. You never can get relaxed. Because you're playing against someone who's just as athletic as you, probably could be faster, could be stronger, but they're gifted. So you got to always have your foot on the
pressure.
gas.
He's fresh.
And fresh. Oh yeah, you talked about the rotate. They rotate. They rotate.
Hey man, all things covered, man. I'm just telling how it is, man.
Hey, it's a run play, man. They send somebody else in there, run you off.
But how they do it?
Oh yeah, tap the helmet. Hey, in practice, I used to tell them, hey man, if it's a run play, block me, bro. Right. Block me. Stop running me off, man. Stop doing that. Just let's lock up real quick. Let's tussle.
Brother-in-law, man. Let's get some brother-in-law in there.
Man, listen, man, that's the worst feeling when you put it in high gear and you look back as a run play. They run a sweep to the opposite side.
You throw the ball in, I'm like, come on, man. Now the next play, 2nd and 8, almost an 80% passing down.
And they bring them goons out there. Then coming up, you see them coming off the sideline like, oh shit.
Hey, what they do? They just give them a last little sip.
No question. Hey, Pat P, don't be in a dome. You know that air in a dome hit a little different. That first quarter in the dome, if you ain't used to you. Hey, y'all boys better get there. Hey, they get $20 million a year, but they gonna sub in and out. They gonna be fresh. They gonna be fresh.
On a serious note, though, I want to know how many plays though receivers play versus DBs in a game.
The starters?
Say for instance, we got a 65 play game. How many of those plays you think receivers are actually playing?
If it's 65, I'll say a cool 48. Because they're going to sub when they're tired.
They're definitely subbing.
And they're going to sub when they just want to be on the sideline. If it's a running play, I mean, and that's the thing about some teams, they can self-scout themselves because when they bring in certain wide receivers, you already know what it is. Right. And one thing I like about Tennessee, they'll take out their top 2 guys in A.J. Brown and Julio and hit you with a play action.
Yes, sir.
And come out there with 22 personnel.
Yes, sir. I saw that. What that game they came back on? The Bills.
Hey, they'll come out there with that 22 personnel. 22 personnel for our listeners is basically 2 backs and 2 tight ends and 1 wide receiver. It's a run set.
Yeah.
And they take their guys out. So now as a cornerback, you might be like, oh, man, this is a run play. Safety might be like it's a run play. Hit you with that play action to King Henry.
Oh, man.
They got Baltimore like that one playoff year 2 years ago. They got Baltimore like that in Tennessee. But yeah, that's a good question, man. I would say out of 65 plays, they probably come out. They probably play around in the high 40s.
I agree.
In the high 40s. And another thing too, Pat, for our listeners, in the month of September, when you're not really in football shape and you got an early game, let's say it's at 1:00 in Jacksonville. Oh yeah. Or 1:00 in one of them hot spots, and these wide receivers coming in and out, but you out there.
Yeah.
Hamstring. And them quads getting heavy. Yes, you can't get that height on that knee. Oh man.
It's over.
Hey, Jefferson has played 89% of the snaps. Jamar Chase has played 86% of the snaps this year. So those 2 young guys been in there a lot.
Yeah,
but the veteran guys, they vets. Like Thielen has played. Dang, they go that Grand Marquis. Thielen played 96% of the snaps, Pat.
Yeah, I know he's in there all the time.
That Grand Marquis. Hey, Thielen, I'm trying to tell you, I get Thielen on one of my fantasy teams every year. Captain Kirk gonna get him that ball in the red zone. Last question for you before we get to a prediction. Will we see the Cookie Monster come out?
Yeah.
Sunday night.
Cookie Monster gonna come out.
Sunday night. You gotta get them fired up too now, Pat.
Yeah, I'm gonna get both of them fired up. Well, I'm gonna get all 3 of them fired up. I'm gonna get Cam fired up. I'm gonna get Jets fired up. And Cookie Monsters, I'm gonna have them some Chips Ahoy. Ready to munch.
On the sideline, would it be dope? Every time you score a touchdown, they eat a cookie.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Hey, on Sunday night, that can go viral.
That will go viral. Tell Dalvin.
Stay tuned.
Anytime you score a touchdown, come to the sideline, just bite a piece of cookie.
Stay tuned.
Get it going.
Ain't I'm not dressed either, so I might have some in my jacket.
Yeah, hey man, that thing they'll go viral for sure. You be on a cooking show, and before you know it, eating cookies. He have his own cookie. I'm pretty sure. Love y'all get in Minnesota. There'll be a restaurant that have a Dalvin Cook cookie.
Yep. I'm just gonna tell Dalvin when he do get a little endorsement at 10%, man. Just get 10%.
Yeah. And remember he said that on the All Things Covered too last week. For y'all listeners who missed the show, YouTube, check it out. It's on there. It's on the feed. Cookie Monster. He will be out Sunday night. Hey, Pat P, there are a lot of people too. That hat that you had on last week, people were saying where you got that hat from. Minnesota
Viking last week.
He had a Minnesota Viking hat on. It was pretty cool. It was satin. It was purple with a little yellow tassel.
Oh, the vintage John.
Yeah,
that John was. That's my favorite hat right there, man.
Where you get it from?
Man, that's like one of my first hats I ever had. Well, that actually is the first hat that was in my locker since I got here. So that's in
team
my
issue.
I guess.
Is that a snapback?
And it's a snapback, Matt.
Oh, that's dope.
Man, that thing's so fire, yo.
Go ahead and send me one.
I got you.
I got some purple ones. I think I can go with that too. I can rock that heavy. I can rock that heavy. Yeah, fans like, man, where did he get that hat from? Viking fans, they're trying to figure out where to get at. Well, that's team issue. I don't know if y'all can get it, but you can try. I got my prediction. Hey, Eric, how close was my prediction, Carolina? I think it was pretty dang close. That game went in overtime. Eric, our producer, he's a stat guy, analytics and all that. My prediction for this game, Sunday Night Football, the Cowboys are giving 2.5 points. That's the spread right now. I don't think we're going to see any line movement. We talked about Cookie Monster. We talked about Thielen. We talked about, hey, you know who gonna quietly have a pretty good game?
Who?
Conklin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go with Tyler.
Yeah, Conklin. Tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Check me out. So my prediction for this ball game, 26-23, Minnesota Vikings, 4-3, 26-23. Eric, make sure you jot that down because I think my Carolina prediction is pretty close. 26-23, Minnesota Vikings. Skull Nation, let's stand up. Y'all make sure y'all get there early. Make sure when y'all walk into the stadium, y'all is drunk and disrespectful. That's it. That's all you need. It's a night game, so you got enough time to get as intoxicated as possible, but in a professional way. But you want to be loud and you want to be rowdy.
Bring the noise, baby.
No question. Bring the noise.